How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome to another episode of Cosplay Con Talk. Cosplay Con Talk is just basically a series where we discuss everything pertaining to the cosplay community and conventions. Tonight, we are doing another segment of Get to Know That Cosplayer, and tonight's featured cosplay guest is Doughnut Cosplay.
Hello.
How are we doing tonight, Jessica?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you again for coming on and being my 21st cosplayer interview. Oh god.
Yeah. I'm super happy to be here.
Thank you. So to begin, basically, how long have you been cosplaying for?
Well, not very long. I think in total about 5 years now.
That's still a fairly long time.
Yeah. Compared to a lot of people that I do know who've been cosplaying since high school, I guess they've got more on me. But 5 years I guess would be considered longer than normal.
Nice. So, what was your very first cosplay and convention?
My first cosplay, well, I guess it depends on what you would consider like an official cosplay. When I was younger, I really liked the idea of cosplay. So I used to do casual cosplay. So I would dress up kind of like a character that I would want to, aspire to be. So I guess if you base it off of that, I would have been Snow White. But my first official made myself cosplay was Katsuki Yuri from Yuri on Ice. And my first convention was Komoricon.
Is Koski the blonde haired or the one with the black hair?
The black hair.
Okay, who wears the glasses?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen that anime ever before, so I like.
It was a really big thing when it first came out. Everyone was really obsessed with it.
Oh, I believe it. And you said what was your first con?
Komoricon.
Komoricon, nice.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like going to Komoricon back then?
Oh, it was definitely new. I had never experienced anything like the con experience. It was very frightening. I mean, it's not frightening now, of course, but being new to the cosplay world, not quite sure how everything went. Stepping into the atmosphere, though, it was very welcoming, exciting. It just felt, I wouldn't say right, but it felt, I'm trying to think of the right word.
It's okay.
Exciting, pretty much mostly exciting, because, I grew up in a really small town, so anime, video game stuff wasn't such a big thing. So being able to go to a place where there were a bunch of other people just like me who loved all the same stuff was just new.
Wow. But I'm still going to your first con was exciting to you. And your first cosplay for that con was the character from Yuri on Ice.
Yeah.
How many people recognized your character?
I would say it was actually quite recognized. I didn't do anything super fancy like other cosplayers where they did like the ice skating uniform. I pretty much stayed in his casual outfit, but it was still pretty recognizable. I carried around a little stuffed animal dog, so everyone was like, "Oh, you're Yuri, and you have Makachi," and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm Yuri, definitely." But people who didn't recognize my cosplay, jeans, a navy t-shirt, so it wasn't super special.
Oh, that's good. At least you had fun, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's always a good thing. What other characters have you cosplayed since then?
So my favorite character so far, though, has been Inko from My Hero. She's Deku's mom. She's kind of like the only character I've really cosplayed since then. She's been my big hit, I guess you can call her.
In a sense, she's your comfort character.
Yeah, my comfort character. She's the one that get recognized the most in. She's the one that whenever I go out dressed as her, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Mama Inko, it's Mama Deku," and people get really excited when they see me in her. So that's the one I typically kind of gravitate towards.
And what made you want to cosplay as Inko from My Hero Academia?
Oh god, I love her. She's one of my favorite characters in the show. Um, when I first watched it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's just so wholesome." I really love her, and I think it was watching the series and seeing her support. I was like, I really want to play her. I want to be the mom character of the group.
No, I think that's always a fun thing to do.
Yeah, moms deserve love too.
Well, that's true. So, how did you go about making the cosplay for her?
Well, that was fun too. So pretty much, started out with reference photos. Uh, what everyone would pretty much recognize her as. Everyone saw her with the navy skirt, the pink sweater, the yellow apron. So I just got my reference photo that everyone would recognize. And I started from there. I would go to thrift stores. That's always your like number one. I wouldn't say everyone's number one, but if you want to cosplay on a budget, Goodwill, secondhand stores are always a good place to look. So that's where I went first. See if I can find anything similar to what was on her outfit. I think I did eventually find like her skirt at a Goodwill, but I actually had to modify her apron. So I went online, Amazon, I found an apron that was similar to the one that she wore in the show, and I had to dye it by hand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was my first experience with having to dye something, and I wouldn't say like I'm like impressed with myself, but the first attempt actually turned out better than I was expecting. So I was really proud, but pretty much started out looking at the thrift stores, and then anything we couldn't find there, I either got from online or I modified it and made it my own, and went from there pretty much.
Nice. And now, how long did that process take you?
Inko from start to finish, I think it took me about 7 months, just because personally I'm a perfectionist, so I would try to get it as close as possible. I think of no, okay, so I did have a different version of Inko that took me a little longer, but yeah, start to finish, she was about 7 months, and I think it was just because I was trying to find the perfect sweater, the perfect pink sweater, and I couldn't get anything. And as soon as I found something, I was like, no, and I bought like 3 of the same sweater just in case.
It doesn't hurt just to make sure you get it
Yeah,
right.
yeah, and I mean, I was happy that I did, because I wore her first sweater to the first day of con, and I guess I had accidentally got like one of my face creams or something on it, and had bleached
Oh
the front.
no!
Yeah, I had bleached the front of it, so I had this like white stain on the front of it. I was like, no, okay, I'm glad I have a backup.
I take it that as something you would recommend to people who cosplay, like simple outfits. Always, if you can find
Yeah.
if you can find the same style, same look, always have like a spare or two on you just in case something like that happens.
Yeah, so I mean, if you basically do something that's casual, something that you can buy from a store, like I did, like a sweater or a pair of pants, you can always get a couple extra just in case, because there's always an accident in cosplay. We have those cosplay emergency rooms for a reason. But if you can, definitely recommend like an extra pair of something.
Yeah, and I know most people don't like admitting their cosplay mishaps, but it's like, hey, it happens to everyone.
It does. It does. Actually, my Yuri cosplay, my very first cosplay, I was horsing around with some of my friends, and I tried to do that scene from Elf where he goes up the escalator, and I may
Oh
have ripped
no!
my I ripped my pants going up the
You
escalator.
were doing the whole split thing because when he wasn't wanting to go up the
Yeah, I did that, and I ripped my pants up the escalator, and I was like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Was it like, did you hear the sound? Did you feel it, or did you hear the rip itself?
Both. I felt it and I heard it, and so
Oh
did the people around me.
no!
They kind of like looked at me, and I was like, yeah, that was me. And then I got up to the top of the stairs, and I kind of like did a check, and I was like, yeah, I ripped my pants.
Oh no!
So it's always good to have a backup if you can. I know a lot of people who do make their own stuff. It's not possible. I mean, it's possible, but if you want to put the extra work into making something extra, then go for it. But, always have a backup.
Oh, I think that's like the smartest thing for anyone. And I'm actually now looking at what was his name again from Yuri on Ice?
Katsuki Yuri.
Katsuki. So where did you get the glasses? Because I'm looking at it right now.
I made those.
You made those?
I did. So, I like to take something and like repurpose it. So I actually went to Claire's with a friend, and they had a sale, buy one get one free on their like accessories. They bought a pair of earrings for one of their cosplays, and I found a pair of glasses that they're non-prescription, just like for show. There, but the frames were like a clear color. It was like a clear rainbow color. So we got that, and then I took them home, and I found nail polish that was a close enough color to the ones that he had in the show, and I just painted over them, and then I did an acrylic seal once they were done to bond everything together.
Very nice. I mean, if you hadn't told me that was nail polish, I would have think that was where they actually looked.
Yeah, it was also my first cosplay, so I wasn't really sure how to work with anything else. I didn't know how to spray paint or any of the other materials that they have specifically for cosplaying. I have no idea. Now I know about these things, but nail polish.
I mean,
It works.
that's pretty impressive. And I've also noticed you did a vampire themed version of Inko.
Yeah, I actually did that last year. COVID's been the worst. But, I've been trying to have fun with my Inko cosplay, have a few other ideas for her. Not only have I done her original look, but I also did a hero Inko that was based off of fan art that I found.
The number one mom?
Yes. It was fan art that I had found. I reached out to the artist and I asked if it was okay. They said, yeah, of course. And if they, of course, wanted to see the cosplay once I was done with it. They were super happy, but I based that cosplay off of their art. And then the vampire Inko is actually also based off of fan art.
Nice. Mind sharing who the artist was for the number one mom Inko?
Oh my goodness, I would have to actually find that.
I think
Yes.
actually, I think I looked it up. Don't mean to look. I think
Yeah,
they're
no,
called
you're good.
Hummus King Clyde.
Yes.
There. Well, that's pretty nice of them to let you know. I think any artist to let someone cosplay their art as long as they give that I think that's pretty cool. Not only are you promoting the character they've drawn, but you're also promoting the artist too.
Yeah, definitely. I have reached out to a few other artists that I've seen do Inko art, and I've asked if it would be okay to cosplay their work as well. And a lot of them are really happy. They're like, yeah, if you want to do it, go for it. So I might have something else coming for Inko soon, but I'm not quite sure.
Nice. And I've also noticed in some of your Yuri on Ice that you've painted your eyebrows to match the hair color.
Yes.
How do you go about that? Like making sure you get because I know most people usually don't like paint. What are your tips when it comes to painting your
Mm,
eyebrows?
that that's always really fun. So I know a lot of people like to block out their eyebrows. I'm not very good at that yet. I know the process does a lot of glue stick and stuff like that. But I naturally have kind of light eyebrows. So for Yuri, I just filled in my eyebrows and then I just went over it a little bit extra. And I used a little bit of powder concealer over the top of them to make sure that it wouldn't smudge. But that's pretty much all I did for his eyebrows.
Nice. And how long does that usually take you, that like that process itself?
That didn't take me too long. It took me maybe 2 minutes.
Nice, nice. Now, what would you say is your longest cosplay that took you so long to make, aside from your Inko one?
um, Inko, my hero Inko actually took a really long time.
The one with the number one that says number one mom?
Yeah, number one mom took a while. Mainly for the fact that I had a friend, you actually interviewed her as well, make my cape.
Oh, Solstice,
And
AJ?
yeah, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So
Shout out to AJ, by the way.
definitely. I always recommend her. I'm probably going to hit her up again to make me another cape. But that took a little bit of time because I was going to try and do it myself, but I'm not the best yet when it comes to sewing my own things. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, help me make a cape. And they did. We went and got material. But the shirt for that cosplay, I actually had to hand paint all of the details on myself.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm looking at it right now. It's everything's very symmetrical, to say the least.
Yes. I did also have their help getting the number one mom on the front of it. They helped me stencil out the outline and paint that part on. But when it came to the black lines, I did that all by hand. I sat down with some painter's tape and I lined it out, sat there and painted it while I was watching Stranger Things. But that took me a good 2 or 3 day process because I wanted to wait for the paint to dry so I can go over get another coat on it. But pretty much it was the shirt and the cape that took the longest, just because they had to be done by hand. Everything else was pretty simple. I bought a pair of pants from Walmart. I got lucky enough with the red boots for the cosplay, and I found those at St. Vinny's, which is a Goodwill shop, like a secondhand store.
Oh, yeah.
I got lucky enough that I found a pair of red boots in my size. I was like, I'm taking them. And then just a pair of dollar gloves that I cut the fingertips off of.
Nice. Yeah, and like I said, I'm looking at it right now. That's like AJ. They did a really good job.
Yeah.
On the cape, and then the shirt itself. And again, I think it was really nice for the artist to let you use their art to cosplay as.
Yes, yes. I have made some upgrades on Inko. The first wig I had was not fun. Always do your research before you buy a wig. Make sure that your wig doesn't hurt. And AJ can protest to this because they were with me when that happened. But first wig was a little too tight for my scalp, and we went to MiyakoCon, and may have worn the wig a little too long. And I know, that's cosplayer 101. Don't wear your wig too long if it starts to hurt. But right on the front of my hairline, I had hurt it so bad that my hair actually fell out right there.
Ow.
Yeah. So anyone who's listening, don't wear your wig too long. Take it off if it hurts.
Oh, most definitely, because wigs aren't meant to be worn all day.
No. So Inko got a new wig, and I'm very happy with that one.
Well, that's always good. Now, are there any characters that once COVID is over with, you would like to try to cosplay as?
Yes, I have so many in the works. Me and a friend, we are actually cosplaying the characters from Pop Team Epic.
Pop Team what's that?
Pop Team Epic. So I like to describe it as Robot Chicken, but anime. It's just two characters, and I think the show is only about 15 minutes long.
Oh, okay. I've seen. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen cosplays of this where mainly they're like flipping people off and everything.
yeah, they're a little aggressive, but there's a really tall character with purple hair and a really short one with the yellow hair. I'm doing the short yellow one. We're gonna cosplay those together, and then recently, I really got into the game Hades.
Oh,
So
that
like
yeah,
the top scroll
tabletop.
game.
Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So there's a character called Dusa.
Who?
She's a Dusa,
Oh, like for like Medusa.
kind of like Medusa, but she's just a floating head.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at her. I'm looking at her right now.
Yeah, so I'm working on trying to figure out how I can do a cosplay for Dusa, seeing as she's just a head.
Um,
But
best
I got a
advice.
lot of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, like you can do like a looking at her now. It's like she it seems like she would like wear like a dress or something. Actually, I'm looking at a fan art right now. It's
Yeah,
Dusa wearing a maid's outfit.
maid's outfit. I've seen a lot of the maid's outfit. I'm like, I could go that route, or I can spice it up, make it like a, you know, Greek mythology kind of outfit.
Yeah, I mean there is always that too, because because I'm looking right now, and a good chunk of them
Yeah,
are in her maid outfit. Some in like a risque type Greek outfit. But yeah,
yeah,
you can definitely do your own thing for sure
definitely.
with
Yeah,
her.
yeah, but that's one of the cosplays I have been considering, and
Nice.
now that I'm thinking of it, there was one more, and I can't, for the life of me, can't think of it now.
We got about 8 minutes. Any experience you would like to share of, going to conventions and cosplaying? Like any funny, embarrassing type aside from the one you just shared like not too long
Ripping
ago?
my pants, ripping my pants.
I think that's like the worst thing that could ever happen to a cosplayer is when they're walking or
Yeah.
something and something on the cosplay rips and it's just like again, like you said, thanks to cosplay repair station at cons.
Yes, they are definitely a godsend. Um, Experience wise, I absolutely love going to conventions, the atmosphere, the people, um, you know, getting to meet new people and see their interests, uh, getting to see how people interact with your cosplay, getting to see other people's cosplays, and how hard people have worked to come up with the things that they have, is definitely one of the things that I love about going to cons. Um, Panels, getting to meet voice actors, that's definitely one of my favorite things. Uh, I think the one voice actor I think I got really excited to meet was Michael J. Tatum. I love him so much.
Who has he done?
Michael J. Tatum has voice acted Tenya Ida from My Hero, Sebastian from Black Butler.
Oh, okay. I know who you're. Okay. He also voiced Kyoya Otri from Oran High School.
Yes, him too. He does a lot of great voices. I can't remember the character's name, but he also does somebody in Black Clover. He's pretty much in everything. But
Oh
I
yeah.
I got to meet him, and it was amazing. I think pros and cons, those would definitely be the pros. People,
Oh,
experience. Um,
there's always gonna be cons as well. Mine sharing a few of the
yeah,
cons too.
yes, cons. It would have to
Cons.
be, yeah, cons at the con would have to be, well, when it comes to people, their nature. Sometimes you get the people who don't like to respect other people's boundaries, or, the cosplay is not consent.
Yeah, cosplay does
No,
not equal consent. Always
it
ask.
doesn't. Always ask. I'm not sure if AJ talked about it. We were both at MiyakoCon, and we had a gentleman who decided to get into her space. Not consent, but he would put his arm around him, and
No.
it was like, we don't know who you are. I understand that your guys' cosplay is from the same show, but that doesn't give you the okay to come into my space. And it, just if you want to interact with somebody, ask them if
Oh,
they're not okay with it,
always ask.
always. But I think that's like the biggest con that I've ever seen, um, being at a convention, is just how many people disrespect others' boundaries.
And that's the thing that people need to learn.
Yes.
With cons, getting more popular and everything is just
Yeah.
because the character looks cool, just because you like the character, does not give you the right to, hey, just touch him or say something inappropriate
Hmm.
without, always, like you said, always ask permission. And if they say
Always.
no, respect their wishes.
Yeah. Pictures, touching, any of that kind of stuff. Um, and I think personally, another con for me, um, personal hygiene. I'm just gonna say personal hygiene. Um, I know not a lot of people can do stuff like that. I have a friend who is actually really allergic to a lot of the material that is in deodorant and stuff like that. Um, but I don't miss walking through Artist Alley and having a wave hit me.
Oh no, that I think, as much as bad as that most people may think about that, it's like personal hygiene for going to a con. Yes, there is the time when a cosplayer is done and they're just drenched in sweat. I,
Hmm.
I can I can I can say that from experience
Oh yeah,
myself. Like
same here.
like once you leave, I think the best advice is once you are done with that con and you go back to your hotel or home, always make sure to shower and everything,
Yeah,
especially if it's more than a 1 day con.
yeah. Just like a quick, like I understand, just a quick shower, just to freshen up, get rid of the day's grime. But um, those are like the only cons that I've ever ran into at a con. I haven't had super terrible experiences except for that one intrusive person.
Oh yeah, no, and again to AJ, that's I'm not sure that was the best experience for them either.
No, yeah. Um, all in all, though, cons have been really great for me so far, and I can't wait for COVID to release us so we can go back.
Knock on wood.
I know.
We got about like 2.5 minutes. Anything else you'd like to share, like some advice and stuff like that?
Yeah, so advice wise, like I had mentioned before, kind of being a similar sort of new cosplayer myself, um, don't be afraid. Because I was really afraid to get started at first. I wasn't sure if it was something that was meant for me, until I had really good friends that were like, no, cosplay is for everybody, feel
Exactly.
comfortable. Um, so don't ever be afraid to cosplay that character that you've really been wanting to cosplay. And don't feel like just because your cosplay isn't as great as the other person's, or you didn't spend 20 hours working on one piece of your cosplay, or you didn't spend X amount of money on it, doesn't mean that it wasn't a good cosplay. If you're happy doing the cosplay that you want to do, that's all that matters. As long as you're happy, you're enjoying yourself, and you know others are enjoying themselves, that's it. Cosplay is the experience.
And I don't think many people realize that cosplay is for everyone.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things I've seen is a lot of hate on other cosplayers, and that shouldn't be something that we have to do. Like, just let everybody have their fun. We're all interested in the same thing. We all love anime. We all love video games, and we want to express that by cosplaying. So, my advice is just be yourself. Be open to others. Don't feel down about your cosplay. I'm I'm a thrift store cosplay if I can, make it if I can, if I can't, buy it. And that shouldn't be something to be ashamed about.
Oh
It's
no,
totally
definitely.
okay. Yeah. So,
I can't stress that enough. Again, Doughnut Cosplay, thank you for coming on to Cosplay Con Talks. Get to know that cosplayer to share a little bit about your cosplay experience about conventions and your cosplays.
thank you so much for having me.
You are most welcome. Again, I am Wayne the Unknown. Thank you for listening to Cosplay Con Talk. Until next time, thank you for watching.